What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Block Party Podcast. I am your host, Kyle Blockbuster, and I thank you for viewing. Today, we have a very special guest. He is a pro MMA fighter of over 6 years. He is a full-time trainer. He is 28 years of age, but out of those 28 years, he has already been fighting for over 15. This guy is incredible. He's a Lafayette local legend, and I am so happy to introduce our new guest for the day, Zack Mathiew.
Happy to be here.
Applause. And then we got our. I can't not introduce our co-host Dan here, of course.
We got Zack here, bro.
You're right. So, thank you. So first off, thank you for coming on. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I think you're supposed to come like 2 weeks ago, and then a week after that, and then it was all my fault. So we're good. But yeah, man. So before we even get into heavy MMA talk and UFC talk and all that stuff, I kind of want to get a little bit of you out the way. I want to talk about you mainly to start off. So really, the first thing is so. You've been basically training and overall fighting in a sense for about 15 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Years,
training, fighting in the cage. You had to wait till like you turn 18. So about 4 or 5 years of that was like kickboxing, grappling tournaments until I did turn 18. So from like 18 till recent.
And did you start?
Yeah, that was
Harry?
Before that, we started in the backyard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So talk about that because you were telling me about that
Yeah,
at dinner
for sure.
whenever we were eating.
The first fight I ever seen was by accident. I was watching WWE wrestling. I was like super big into that.
Oh, yeah.
And it came on Spike TV, and before that was The Ultimate Fighter. So I was like, about to watch, WWE, super stoked about it. That's what I look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And before that came on was The Ultimate Fighter, and like I seen that and like instantly knew like I just had to be a part of it. Didn't know how, but probably like that weekend, my pops bought me some like boxing gloves that said "Boom" on it, 2 pairs. So like me and the neighborhood would just box each other and just think we knew what we was doing, and then. Fast forward a year later, I linked up with Harry and realized I didn't know what I was doing. I needed to train for real. So, yeah. No, for sure. First time I ever did it, I got dropped, and I was like, yeah, I need to get way better at fighting.
Heard that. So do you think it was from the Rock'em Sock'ems that kind of stuck you into
Yeah, absolutely.
this
The
whole
boom
lifestyle?
gloves is the whole reason why Flash MMA exists.
Do you still have the boom gloves?
Man, I wish I did.
Oh, man.
I'd frame it.
Oh man, that could be.
Yeah.
That would be memorabilia in the future.
Yep.
That would be sick. So the next question that I really have is why did you decide on this path? But obviously you kind of answered that in a way. But if you could elaborate more on the cycle of being a fighter, because it takes a lot to first just train on a regular basis, but it takes a lot mentally to stay on that path. Don't I guess like feed away from like the outside factors like drugs and all that alcohol, all that bullshit. But it's that healthy lifestyle I think is a little hard to grasp in America. And one thing that I wanted to ask you about that is there like a process in your day to day that like allows you to continue your weekly cycle of training, coaching,
Yeah,
fighting,
definitely.
all that stuff?
A lot of sports you'll hear that it's 90% mental and like maybe 10% physical, and that is like 100% truth. I learned that, especially transitioning from a fighter to a coach, to really dive into that mental aspect. And, man, if I don't work on my mental game, then it's like, everything else kind of, But for sure, meditating, like that's a big thing.
Okay, a lot of sense.
Affirmations, just speaking positive, journaling, and I don't know, man, just staying on top of your mental game, your mental health. That's like most important thing right now.
So what would be some rituals that you would do for yourself to get prepared for, getting in the cage, whether it be amateur practice or whatever?
Yeah. So
Or even
for my
training.
fights, I did a lot of overtraining to where like Harry, my coach, would kick me out the gym. That's like all I wanted to do was train to be a ninja and whoop some ass.
How dare you, Mr. Harry, if you're watching this?
Yeah, he's like, dude, go do something else. I'm like, dude, this is all I want to do. And but going back to your question, I would train at least 3 to 6 hours every day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it wasn't the smartest. I'd do 6 hours straight nonstop. And then my body, what I do at night, that way I could still train. I would take ice baths at night, and just even then before the ice bath, I would run 3 to 5 miles
God.
after training. So like, I was just on a mission. Like that's all I wanted to do, you know. Yeah.
Well, man on a mission. That's
So
the
that was
easiest
my
thing in the
ritual.
world, man.
So what was the hardest
Heard
thing
that, heard that.
you would have to basically be like so not even subjective, but like
Subjected to?
self-discipline? Like what was the hardest thing about self-discipline? Like eating or having to get up or
Is there maybe some
Yeah,
books
yeah.
that you read? Like what's something that made you made that path
Failing a
easier?
lot.
really? Dang.
Oh yeah. Yep, experience.
Experience.
Even like winning, but not in the way you thought it would be. It'd be a lot harder. And I took a lot of fights on the road. Like I didn't take the easiest path of fighting, and taking those losses just humbles you. And as a fighter, your confidence has to be like sky high. But there's a median, and like you gotta get humbled. Like in fighting, it's not a matter like if you're gonna get your ass whooped, whether it's training room or in a fight. It's gonna happen, and you have to humble yourself and like really, dive into people like teaching you, and you got to be coachable. That's like number
Yeah.
one.
Coachable. Yeah, I like what you were just talking about. Whenever it comes to yes, you do have to have a crazy high confidence level, but then you do have to have that humble mentality because we were actually talking about the T.J. Dillashaw
Yep.
versus Cody Garbrandt fight,
Yep.
the very very first one. We were watching that back, and you saw that as Cody was the champ in that fight, his confidence was through the roof. You knew that he was coming to that fight knowing in his brain that he is going to win, and there was no self doubt. But as like he literally even pointed out as you were going on it, what we weren't talking really even about the that TJ was staying more on the outside. We were just saying like he seems more composed in this moment because it
Right.
seems like he's been
sure.
humbled many times before. And Cody at the time, because he was just on that rise. I mean, I feel like it almost goes hand in hand with almost every single fighter. So that's a beautiful process to even get into because a lot of people it take a lot of time to even gather up the strength in their brain
just to
get
make that walk,
point.
man, is probably one of the scariest things you'll do, and like one of the coolest things you'll do. You're just being in the back, getting your hands wrapped, knowing that you prepared your whole life for this, and it all comes down to 9 minutes. And if you fuck up, everybody's watching.
Yeah. That's what
If you do great, everybody's watching. And it's just like, getting the courage to make that walk and really put it all on the line is like, it's definitely a cool experience, but super scary.
Yeah, because I told Kyle, man, that's like
It
I
definitely
feel
takes
like
a lot of courage.
y'all take the most embarrassment out of any sport because
For
like
sure.
you really are putting just everything on the line, and a lot of people really don't understand that. Like a lot of people think that, oh, why didn't he just duck that spinning kick? Like, oh, you're just on the couch, you don't understand. Like,
No.
like,
facts.
so it's like, man, it's like you're understanding what the mentality. Like you can be
Right.
ready physically, but mentality, like you said, you got to be there 100%. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you remember Joe's versus Bros?
Yeah,
It was
pros
like a
versus
sports
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You Pros versus Joes, that's what it was, dude. I remember watching that shit. I remember
Absolutely.
Bully
Yeah,
Beat
oh,
Down
yeah, I
as
love
well.
that shit.
Absolutely. Shout out to Jason Miller.
Even though he crazy.
Don't know where he's
For
at
real,
right
for
now,
real.
but yeah. Might be like that.
He does.
Oh man.
You may not even know. But yeah. So okay. So another question as we're kind of going through this. So what was the most satisfying thing about this MMA world that you've gotten in
Oh
so
man,
far?
the friendships that I made, like people I met, I would have never like met them without doing this. Like, it's something about punching each other in the face just brings a lot of people together. Like, we had sparring yesterday, and we spar light, but we don't spar like too light. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get it in, but we're gonna be safe about it. But everybody who sparred each other like after the session like talk to each other for like 30 minutes after. You've been part of that. You know how it goes. Like you just talk.
Well, I
Yeah.
actually want to comment on that. So literally the last time that I went sparring with Zack over there, it was like this last Tuesday, and I literally got a little bit of my emotions mixed into the process of it because the very first time that I was sparring over there, I was getting hit with some solid shots. Don't get me wrong, but this time for some reason there was like something else behind, and you called that out like literally like a minute and a half into us just sparring in the very first round, which I think that's so crazy because reading people, not just like in the physical way of just like you
Right.
see their punch coming at you, but like reading people mentally and knowing like what's going on is actually a psychological portion of life that a lot of people don't get to tap into. And so being that you were able to notice that, because funny thing is I was going through some stuff, and regardless of that fact, you could tell like just maybe in the aggravation and how I guess I was fighting. But no, whenever you called it, like I couldn't say anything after that because I was like, dude, he got me, like he got it right, bro. Like I was mad, And so but yeah, dude, that mental, man, that mental is all it is. I say all, 90%, And but yeah, so the friendships that you've made, that would be the most satisfying.
That and that you speak on it, learning how to control my emotions, like especially going through like chaos. It's not a matter if life's gonna fuck you up, it's when, And I learned that through fighting. I learned that through life, is not to let my emotions get the best of me when making important decisions or just any decisions in life. That's there's so many things like good about that martial arts has provided me, but those two right there.
So what would you say your most
absolutely
memorable fight that you've won is? Like one that like sticks there.
It's not even a fight that I won. It's at weigh-ins, I was scheduled to fight a guy at 125, right? I walked around at 120. This was probably when I'm like 19, 20 years old.
Oh,
So that's the lowest weight class they got. And, I just, a lot of people at 125 cut probably like 15, 20 pounds. So already at a disadvantage there. My guy didn't show up, and they had a guy at 135. His guy didn't show up. And like, I had it on my mind. I'm fighting regardless. Doesn't matter who.
Right.
So I was like,
preparing for this long.
This guy didn't make what his opponent didn't show up. Mine didn't show up. Let's fight. The promoter was like, you're crazy. Like, that's like 15 pounds already, and he's gonna put on weight. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I know what I can do. Let me fight. So we fought, and like I said, I lost, but it was a split decision. Like, it was a close fight. The whole crowd was into it. Because, I don't know, you see me walking out, and you see this other guy, like, he looks like he ate me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't care, man. Like, I knew, you know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of my favorites. Yes. And I was sick that fight, too. So, like, a lot of adversity. I was like, fuck it.
He would have won. He would have won 100%. If he was 100% healthy, yeah, he would.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
I just wish that other dude was there so you'd have that story about how you
he was super cool, and
No, I'm just joking.
we both got it.
Yeah. That's speaking of. I feel like there has to be an immense amount of automatic respect that goes from fighter to fighter.
Yeah, I've never had a fight where like we weren't chopping it up after.
Really?
Like,
good. Yeah.
8 weeks. That's all you're thinking about is punch this guy in the face, kicking him in the face. Trying to, and the other guy, same thing. And then like after the fight, it's like some kind of relief where like it's over. Like we're both. Right.
You almost
we're
made
both
a bond
not we're both still alive, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. And and some people you see that their fights they still, want to fight again, but like, once you get it out of there, no matter how much you hate the guy, you got to respect that he got in there and y'all duked it out, you know what I'm saying?
So in your professional career, 100%. Have you ever had to fight anybody twice, like the same person twice?
Yeah. Funny story about that. I fought one guy for an amateur belt, and I armbarred him in like 40 seconds. And he'd be super friendly, but like around, he'd tell people that I got lucky.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just play dumb, and I didn't think I'd fight him again. It lasts 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I get a call like 2 weeks notice to fight him, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
40 seconds.
He said I got lucky. The first fight, I armbarred him in 40 seconds. So I was like, I bet I'm going to try to do it again, but lesser time. I armbarred him in like 30-something seconds, and it was the other arm, just in case he said I got lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Did you like really humble him, or was you still talking shit after?
Couldn't even tell you, man. He was just holding his arm when I seen him.
That's all I remember. So did y'all
Nah,
chop it up?
after the first fight, we chopped it up a little bit. After that, nah.
Oh yeah, he had a grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that has to. I feel like a lot of people, because I feel like a lot of fighters that get into it may not come into it with the mental. You know what I'm saying? So you already coming in, you're almost. I feel like you're almost prepared for the best thing to happen
Absolutely.
and the worst thing to happen. So, I mean, the worst thing that
You
could
get your
happen
lights
is
put
literally
out. Yeah,
potentially
you
the
can
loss
die.
of
You
life.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't think about that, but
The worst things.
you know, it can happen.
So like, tell us from a perspective, what's it like seeing the lights go out?
I can't tell you because I never been there, but the worst that's happened to me is it wasn't even an MMA fight. It was a kickboxing fight, and I got kicked in the face, and the next thing you know, like I'm on the ground, like, and the guy's giving me a 10 count, and like it didn't hurt or anything. It just like I don't know, the lights kind of went out, and then I got back up. And then I finished the fight. I ended up winning, but like,
Yeah.
that was a crazy feeling because it didn't hurt, but like it just, I don't know, stunned you.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say maybe is it like a daze for like 6 to 8
That
seconds
time, no.
type of
No,
thing?
I've been hit
Oh, okay.
and not dropped, knocked out, but like felt half my body just go numb.
Oh, okay.
That was weird.
Oh,
Like
oh,
just like
shit.
not like my legs and my upper body, just like half of it.
Oh shit.
Like from here,
Like
Like
the
a
left
stroke.
or the
Like,
right?
yeah, like a stroke
Yeah.
or some
Oh
shit.
my
Yeah.
god.
yeah.
Shit. Well, I mean, that's got to be.
Shout out to
super
the Boom
scary in
Gloves.
the moment. Shout out.
Yep.
Boom Gloves. So, next question that I got for you. Before we kind of deep dive into like the UFC talk normal stuff, because I want to know, I want these people to know mostly about you. But what's your goal for your business? And then I'll ask you, what's your goal for your career?
Business wise, man, I know I have a business, but like I don't treat it like a business. So like
Casual.
I don't.
Right.
There's no really goals with the business. It's more of like whoever comes to me with their goals, that's my goal now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You came to me with a
makes
goal, like I'm going to try to get you there as best as I can. Same thing with everybody else.
Right.
And when I first started coaching, it was mostly like I wanted to build world champs. I wanted to just be the best coach I can. Now that, you know, I went through life a little bit more and seeing what training does for people, my goal is just whatever people are going through, you know, when they leave the gym, maybe they leave a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You ever have those people that come into the gym like, I want to be UFC?
Oh, man, I've had, dude, my DMs are crazy, man. Man,
Would not
I'll never
doubt that
forget
at
this.
all.
I wish I would have saved it. I got a DM from one guy, and as soon as I see like this long of a paragraph, I'm like, oh, fuck. So like, he's explaining to me how he used to box when he was like a kid and whatnot. Cool. And then he proceeds to like, I just double tap it. You know what I'm saying? And then he proceeds to send me this video of him shadow boxing. And he's shadow boxing and then somehow ends up on his knees, like, you know, in mount. And he like, it's almost like he's grabbing somebody and headbutting them, shadow boxing. And I was just like, this is great. I'm about to show everybody that I know. This is awesome. Yeah.
What not to do.
No, keep sending me videos like that. Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna end up on a real
Yeah,
like
definitely,
ridiculousnly. Or
definitely.
something like
Shout out to
that.
him. I don't know what he's doing right now, but I hope he's still shadow boxing.
Hope the
Yeah.
headbutt is strong,
Like-
bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I heard that. So for the business, you don't treat it so uniform
Right.
to a degree, but obviously
sure.
it's still a business. You know what I'm saying? And I think the beautiful thing about owning a business or whatever, because another topic of discussion that we have on here is money and music. But I think owning a business at the age that you are and I am currently is a beautiful thing to get into at this age, because yes, like I can say the exact same thing about all the businesses that I currently own. I have no guideline. I have no like direction whenever it comes to this stuff. So being able to like kind of figure it out along the way is beautiful, especially because I say starting. You started this a long time ago, but because we're starting at an age that it doesn't feel like a business. It just feels like fun, and people just happen to pay us. But obviously, years later, it can turn into something even more beautiful.
So how did you even get the warehouse that you're in right now?
All right, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So shout out to COVID. So before COVID happens, I was like heavily invested in being a fighter. Training people was cool. It wasn't my main source of income. I had like maybe another job and like another part-time job, and then I trained people, and then I trained. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. But when COVID happened, like everything just slowed down for me. I got laid off my main job, and fights weren't happening, man. Unless you're in the UFC, fights weren't happening in COVID, so I was just stuck. And I really didn't know what to do. I prayed on it, man, and yeah, man.
2 years later.
It's crazy how it happened. I started my business right in the middle of COVID. Got laid off. Started getting these checks from the government, and I'm like, yo, like prayers answered. And like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna do, man. And at that time, the place I was training people out of, man, all the gyms were closed, and everybody was looking to train. And the place I had was super undisclosed location, and dude, we didn't even have lights. Like I was using sunlight. You know what I'm saying? We was grinding, bro. We was grinding. Generator was running the lights. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it, so like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little, just to kind of break that down. They had like a little outside generator that was like probably like any of them could have picked that up like it was nothing. It was really small, but it was running the lights and it would flicker like halfway through like training and boxing, and then no AC, sweating your balls off.
And it was a gated, you know what I'm saying? It was gated, so like the only way you could come in is if I let you. So like,
right.
Dude, I was cycling people in and out, and that's when I was like, man, like I'm getting clients, like it's taking off, you know.
Right.
I like don't have the best like place to train people. We don't have AC or like lights, but like people are still coming and get this work in. So I'm like, man, I must be doing something okay with it. And yeah, man. Fast forward later, like maybe like 2 or 3 months later, I was thinking about getting a building, but I wanted to make sure like, you know, everything was cool with my trainer because he still had his gym. So we sat down and had that conversation, and he was like fully supportive of it. He was diving more into self-defense. I was more of MMA, competition based, you know, and man, he gave me his blessing. And after that, you know, I found this perfect spot, because like I didn't want to like make it commercial. I wanted it like super underground to where people know like they're gonna get work in. Like it's just gonna be a grind house.
Yeah. Nah, back down too.
Nah. Just you know, when you walk into a gym, I heard somebody say this: if everything looks perfect, leave. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna want your money.
That makes
sense.
sense.
And like I've been to some places where like everything looks perfect and you can get the work in over there. And I've been into some places where like everything looks perfect and they want your credit card information right away. So I just wanted people to know 100%. Like they felt comfortable. It wasn't about the money. Like I'm just trying to like give you this work, you know, show you how to be a ninja, and we're gonna go from there.
Right.
So open up
for real.
in 2020, and you know, still got it. We you know, we're getting close to packing the place out. So.
Well, like I think y'all are definitely getting to a point, just from the times that I continue to go, even though I don't go as often as I should. But just from the times that I go, it's like you can tell that there's work being put in continuously on a day by day by day. And the thing is, it's like you do have other trainers to fill in or whatever, because you do have a great group of people over 100%. There at your gym. But it is a lot of hours on you. You know, obviously you're used to putting in those hours. Don't get me wrong, but keeping that mental strong is a beautiful thing going through the
absolutely, because if I'm not the best version of myself, then you know, what am I giving everybody else, you know?
So whenever you got that
100%.
cage that put in there, I saw that was pretty nice. I had to walk in there, but how was it getting it in there? Was it hard? Was it expensive? Nothing.
Not hard at all. Man, shout out to the government, bro. They got me that cage. Yeah, I was looking for cages online. I didn't even have my building. I was looking to put it where, you know, I was training people before that. And yeah, man, I got a good deal. Dude literally sold it for $1,200. So I was like, man, a cage is usually like $5,000. Yeah. So I was like, dude, everything is lining up perfect. Like at that point in my life, I wanted to fight. Everything wasn't lining up perfect. Trainer,
right?
Everything lining up perfect. And like, you know, the more I fought it, trying to fight, the more it didn't happen. And like I tell people all the time, man, fighting was my passion. I loved it. But being a trainer, I feel like is my purpose. Like fighting, I'm the only one getting something out of it. And training people, like, you know, I'm helping a lot of people. And like helping people is a cool thing. So
Yes, I think going on anybody's journey in life, regardless of anything that's gonna be really really hard to end up achieving one day. I think it's I think it's crazy how you're able to start a business, have the adversity of COVID happen, and then still have some sort of positive outcome from it. Because the crazy thing is that a lot of people had their jobs taken away during COVID, and they didn't have like a second option. But
For sure.
people always need
If
work.
you were a
You know what
hustler,
I'm
like
saying?
you got it in COVID. Like you shined in COVID.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I did too. You know, and so that's actually where my come up literally started. As soon as everybody like cut everything.
Right.
So I was in Colorado. So like as soon as everything was cut off and everything in Colorado was like not everybody's around each other anymore. Everything's closed off. The only thing I knew to do was, I mean, go to the job that I was working at the moment and make videos because I had nothing else
Right.
to do. There was nobody around me. The town that I was in only had like 1,600 people max. So it's like you still got to figure
For
out a
sure.
way to do something. So it's like put in the hours
Yup.
with the videos. Actually kind of talking about that. So you started posting content online for a good amount of time. You've been your following has been gaining. I've been noticing over the last few years as you've been building the business that you currently have. But is there any growth systems that you've seen on Instagram that helps you the most? Like, is it maybe
Yeah,
collaborating
it's
with other
it's a couple
people?
different things. The first one, everybody I train, when I train them, and I got this from my barber. Everybody he'd post their picture, and then they would repost it, and then they're following, seeing it.
Right.
So I started doing that. Everybody I train, post them no matter what. 3 5 second video, and also for people to see them first start and see the progression with them. And
100%.
I did that. And just posting content every day, man, no matter what it is. Yeah.
It's important to do it in the day that we're in, and I'm kind of using that as a segue because so first off, 100% of the effort that you put in on a day-by-day basis, it can be limited if you don't post content. If you have like that side business or that side hustle, whatever that it is, it's extremely important that you talk online about that. Now you don't have to literally talk to the camera and say what you're doing, but showing people what you do is actually even more important. And so like the way that you're able to like how you recorded me, for example, and sent that to me or whatever, I was literally able to like fully break down the way that I view myself, because like whenever you're like shadow boxing or whatever, that's like the most view that you're getting of yourself. But whenever you have like a 360 view of somebody like that's literally recording you, and now you can see your footwork, you can see how your hands move, all that. You realize that you don't know
Hey,
shit.
man, I realize I don't know shit every day. So that's a great mindset.
Heard that, no cap. But regardless of that, it gets you a starting point, and I love that. I really do love that, because content, man, that regardless of any route that you choose, content could end up being the
And it
route
only
that ends
takes
up
one
taking you
video.
to the next level.
So, like, that's it. Like the days
100%.
we live in, man. It's like one video gets reposted, the right person sees it, they repost it, and then their whole following sees it, and and
Yeah. Dude, I've been on ESPN's Instagram, just literally, dude, I don't even, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had so many different, like, organizations just post my stuff out of nowhere just because, like, they need viral content in the moment. And the thing is like, if you're just working, they'll hit you up in the DMs. Bro, I should show you my DMs. It's just pretty crazy. But the cool thing about that is that posting content in the day that we're in is the thing that takes that business to the next level. Because if you're, the word of mouth, of course, is super important, because that's what gets you those die-hard coming back to you people. But those people on the internet is what's going to really get the new faces in the door.
And like, man, I see social media all the time, and like people want to start these businesses, and like, especially with social media, like they want to be on right away. And I'm like, dude, like this is what I've been doing since like 2008, bro. It takes time. And I see people just give up on like posting the content. I'm like, dude, if you stay with it, like it's not gonna happen overnight.
No,
you know what I'm
of course
saying?
not.
But
right, of course. And if anything, it kind of gives you something to watch for yourself, because regardless of all the other people that are going to pay attention to it, I like to every once in a while like go back and just like check out some of the videos that I've made. Now, I'm not saying that I'm watching them because I want to see how many views. I literally just want to see like the type of content that I've made in the past versus how exactly the progression that it comes in the future.
You have any people that you're coaching right now that fight professionally right now?
yeah, I do. I got one guy, Logan Spire. He he pretty much dominated the amateurs, 5-1, and pro. I love his story, man, because he's gonna bounce back and like make, he's gonna show people soon. But his first fight, pro debut, he won pretty short. Second fight, he broke his leg.
Ooh.
Yeah, he.
Oh my God! What? Which
I'm not
bone
sure.
in
I
the
think it
leg?
was more of his knee.
Ooh.
So that happened.
Okay, yeah.
His other leg, he rides horses for work. He broke his other leg
Okay.
trying to make his comeback. So he broke both legs.
Oh man!
And then we have his comeback fight. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a scrub. It's like one of the top amateurs in Louisiana and in Texas,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
South region. And he fights this guy, split decision, drops him like 4 or 5 times in the first round. I gave the round, maybe one round to the other guy, but the judges didn't agree, and he lost a split decision. So, his record is 1-2, but like I'm telling you, he's one of the best fighters around that people just don't know about yet.
You hear that, Logan? We believe in you.
And then
We believe it.
I
Hey,
got
Mathiew
another
believes you. Don't be
another
mad.
guy, man, Gabe Clark. We started off as training partners, man, like back in like 2012, and he's always been a guy where I just knew like if he locked in, he can make it like 100%.
Right.
And 2017, 2018, kind of where I'm like wondering if I want to be a trainer or a fighter. I'm like kind of in between, and like it was either move or what I'm saying, stay and do what I'm doing right now. And how you get those recommended friend requests to friend people. I see him, I haven't seen him in
Like
years,
Facebook and
and I
Instagram.
send him a friend request, and he shows up at the gym the next day, and he's like, dude, I took that as a sign like to get back in it. And like before that, I had prayed for like a sign on like what to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that was one of the moments where like, but back to Gabe, this kid's 5-1 as an amateur, all 5 wins by first round submission or knockout. Man, both of these
exciting.
guys, I'm
That's
telling you,
exciting
man,
to
they're gonna
watch.
make it. If they stay locked in, they're gonna make it. And then I have just another
yeah.
group of killers that haven't even fought yet. You know what I'm saying? I got Kate.
Shit.
She's
Right.
been training for about 3.5 years, and yeah,
She's done,
jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu
competitions,
competitions,
kickboxing
right?
fights, and she's pretty much close to getting in the cage, man. Yeah.
I'm not messing
And
with
then
you.
I just have people that people don't even know about that haven't even competed. Like the main thing is I train my amateurs like pros. I want them at a pro level when they fight amateur debut, and that way whenever they do turn pro, they're at a higher level than what they're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
UFC.
Makes a lot of sense.
Straight up.
That's always the goal.
Yeah.
definitely.
Got to be a pro
Definitely.
before you even start, bro. It's that mindset. Last question that I really have about you from the jump. Oh, also I do want to make a comment about a lot of things before I forget. So a lot of people talk about the mental aspect. A lot of people talk about the physical aspect of fighting, but I feel like there has to also be some form of a religious in a sense, because having something that's like in your deep-rooted moral character that sometimes you can't even explain of why the things that we
Right.
do the things that we do. I think that's great that that literally it's in God's timing. It wasn't technically maybe in your moment to be the
Right.
biggest fighter in the world or whatever the hell in the moment, but maybe in this moment it's your time to like help the people of Lafayette get your groundbreaking stuff started, and then maybe he's got something else in your plan. So I mean, regardless, man, I think God has it in His hands, regardless, and I'm really glad that you have that.
Going
that
off of that
character as
too.
well.
Jorge Masvidal said something that was kind of interesting right before he fought Colby Covington, and he's like, I like it whenever we're just in the cage because it's just nobody decides what happens. It's not nobody outside of the ring, not God, just me and that other person. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel like
I feel like it's definitely all on you, but I don't know, man. I feel like certain losses, certain wins just
are inevitable?
needed to happen.
Yeah,
For you,
yeah.
you know? And kind of in life, you're gonna win, you're gonna lose. Sometimes shit is made to make you lose, to make you level up. So.
Yeah.
Dead ass. Literally, I wouldn't even be anywhere near the position that I'm in today if it wasn't for all the losses that I've created for myself
For
just
sure.
by trying to learn, But yeah. So last question that I really have for you: your biggest inspiration to keep you not just going, but for your future. What's your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration, like training people. I've been, even though I had my business for like 2 years, I've been doing it way before that, and I've had certain situations where it's like, especially people with mental health. Like, I had one girl I trained, super badass fighter, and she ended up committing suicide. And I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It just lets you know how real life is. You never really know what people are going through. And, rest in peace to her. I know, like, that's something, like I said, mental health. Martial arts can provide like a balance, That's why I try to keep everybody in the gym. If I don't see people for a while, I hit them up, because you really never know what somebody's going through. And we both know somebody. I'm not gonna touch up too much on it, but they ended up taking somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like you never know if they would have been in the gym.
You never really know.
You never really know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of mental health, I'm actually glad that I want to talk about this just for a couple of seconds, because this is actually a topic of discussion that has been brought up in every single one of the episodes that I've been on. So I'm sure maybe COVID-19 had a little bit to do with it. Maybe the isolation had a little bit to do with it. Maybe it's the
world going fucking crazy.
Well, it could be the system. It could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But regardless of the fact, depression has been a real topic of discussion. And I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I'm going to leave a number right here on the screen. So if you do, for some reason, know anybody that needs help, would love help, or just at the end of the day, it seems like they could need some help, maybe reach out through that number, or also give them a reach out, because it's super important that we keep the people that are important to us in our life.
Yep.
And you don't know the battles that people are fighting. You don't know, and
sure.
It's extremely important to check up on those people. And again, obviously, I'm continuing to do it, but I commend you on that. It takes a lot, because last time that I had a guest on the other day, he was talking about like some of the DMs, because he makes a little bit of like sadder style music,
Right.
And he was explaining how some of the DMs that he gets are extremely depressing, and he has to take it with good gravity. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let that wash over. You can't just double tap that. But the majority of the time, having responding to some people can give them enough strength to say, like, okay, this person that I look up to is able to respond to me and take the time out. Like, it sometimes changes people's day, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
So
I feel like it's a torch that we like each pass. You know what I'm saying? You might talk to somebody, brighten their day. They might do the same thing, and it's just, if we can keep doing that, I feel like it's gonna be, way better.
100%, 100%. But yeah, so
Let's get into this UFC talk.
Let's get into
Yeah,
it.
let's get it, man. Let's get it.
First question: did you see the Volkov fight?
Volkov versus Korean Zombie.
No.
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 Most recent
Volkov
this
versus
Rosenstrike.
Rosenstrike.
I don't even know how to say that. Dude's
Nah,
name.
but shout out to them, man. I had him on my parlay and he did good. So.
Yeah. Dude,
I didn't.
First round.
Yeah,
Man.
I was training somebody at the gym, and I looked at my homie Tamir, and I was like, "Yo, you watching the fights?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it's already over." I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah, dude. I literally was chilling outside with Chris outside.
Yeah.
And then Dan comes outside, like, we were like, all right, cool, we should be good for the fights to start pretty soon. Dan comes outside, fight's just
Fight's over.
I was like,
Yeah, man.
I was
when
like,
did they start?
They were like, what? I was like, how long was it? Like 30 seconds.
People don't understand, man. Volkov is like damn near like what 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'7". Yeah.
Rosenstrike, badass fighter, badass striker, but that's a lot of reach.
That is a
And if
lot
y'all
of
both are, you know what I'm saying? Those attributes play a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of those, that reach attribute, that's what I was kind of talking about with that Cody Garbrandt and TJ
Yeah, man.
fight. Because, dude, a couple of inches makes a difference.
Pause.
Oh, we got to censor that. No, I'm just
So, this would be a great transition to our new sponsor, FeeFighter.com. No, I'm just joking. I'm totally joking. But yeah, dude. So what's one of the fights that you've seen recently that kind of had your head scratching?
In a good way or bad way?
bad way.
Bad way. Let's talk about that.
Bad way? Shit.
I know mine off the top of my head.
What you
I
got?
know
The,
a few.
the Holly Holm fight.
You know, I didn't watch that fight, but shout out to who beat her.
Of course.
That was on my parlay too.
He was just winging that. He didn't think she was going to win.
I really didn't even watch it. Like I said, the odds looked great.
Right.
And Holly Holm, she's getting older, but everybody I talked to said she won the fight. So
Yeah, just from. I mean, I don't know shit whenever it comes to this stuff, but whenever I'm paying attention to analytics that they're putting at the end. In that fight, Holly Holm had like over 10 minutes of control time on the cage. There wasn't really many takedowns.
Right.
Holly Holm also scored a knockdown in like the second or third round.
Would you consider it a knockdown if I hit you with a side kick and you hit your butt? Side kick to the gut.
No, you knocked me off balance. You know, you didn't put my lights out, and I didn't. You know.
Oh, so like on the scorecard, you don't think that would be considered a knockdown?
I feel like you got to score it as damage. You know what I mean? But not
But not a knockdown.
MMA judging is so weird, man. It's
it's like Stephen
in
Wonder
boxing, you know, if you knock somebody down with a punch, that's an automatic 10-9. You know what I'm saying? And the way they score fights is you get 10 points if you win the round. If it's even, you get 9-9. And if it's a dominating round, you get a 10-8, which is rare.
Very rare.
But nobody really knows what specifically you have to do to get a 10-8. What a knockdown does in terms of points. Because, like, in boxing, you get dropped. In MMA, you get dropped. The other guy gets a takedown. Like, woo, how do you score?
Oh, he won that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, what?
And, like, you'll see guys, if it's a close round or, I don't know, for whatever reason, the last 30 seconds, whoever wins the last 30 seconds usually wins the round. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's weird how they judge fights.
Scoring weird things because, I mean, I feel like, and I don't think it's too often because I feel like the majority of the time, when me and Dan are like watching fights, the majority of the time we're like, okay, yeah, they won, and then the majority of the time that's what it is.
Right.
But it's those every once in a while that's really got your head scratching.
There's some
like,
gray areas, man, where like they can really fix it.
Like we saw basically Holly lose to Ketlin, even though she had all this, you know, control time and clinch time.
Right.
But tell me how Peter Yan lost against Aljamain then.
I had Peter Yan losing for sure.
You did?
Yeah.
Even though he dominated the last two?
I had it 2-3. First, I don't remember it specifically, like what round everybody won, but I had 2 rounds Peter winning and 3 rounds Sterling winning, and that's me wanting Peter Yan to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he definitely had like so much control time over 2 rounds. Aljamain did, definitely.
Right.
Because Peter Yan, he couldn't get him off the back.
I feel like it came, from what I remember, it came down to the first round. And Peter Yan usually starts off slow. He gives away the first round to kind of time them out, pick up their rhythm. And Sterling just took advantage of that, just threw a little bit more. And, you know, when it comes to judging, I don't know what they're looking at, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I really don't, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's another question that I probably have that, I mean, you probably don't have the answer for that. I don't know who would have the answer to that. But do they have to, like, get certifications to be a judge?
Man,
or
honestly, bro, I don't know, man. They
pulled him off the street.
they've had fights where, like, you know, it's people taking pictures of it where the guy's like on his phone or watching like UFC fights while he's judging a fight, and it's like, bro, these guys get paid. They don't get paid a flat out check. They get paid certain amount of money if they win, certain amount of money if they lose. Like, if you win, you get paid both. If you lose, and you got a guy looking not even at the fight, determining, you know, how you're gonna eat.
For real.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
No, for real, it is fucked up. I think it's so much because literally you were deciding if this guy is going to have food on the table for the last 6 months of the year or the first 6 months.
And that's another thing, man. Fighter pay. We can get into it, bro.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second. So Jake Paul obviously brings up a lot about fighter pay, So a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about Jake Paul. I don't know if you follow or pay attention to any of that stuff. But,
garbage.
But to be completely real from my point of view, obviously I don't know shit. But I really do think that Jake Paul is making good headway for
I
having the
100%
conversation.
respect Jake Paul.
Yes.
He really puts in the work. Like, he trains like a pro.
Right.
And you could tell, like, he spars for real. Like, he probably got his ass kicked in the gym a lot to be able to do what he's doing right now.
Right.
And if you look at his record, and I don't know what he is, like 3-4-0.
I was gonna say like 3.
If you look at these other top guys, man, unless they went to the Olympics, like, they're fighting, you know what I'm saying, bums.
Yeah.
They're fighting the same kind of talent that he's fighting right now. He's just, you know, got a bigger platform and, you know, but he made that platform for himself, so you can't hate on that man. You really can't, bro.
It's really just work.
Yeah, and he's smart, man. He's talking his shit. People are buying into it to see him get his ass kicked, and like, you know,
he's coming out.
Man, I'm taking notes.
He's finessing.
Bro.
He's finessing hard.
He's a smart businessman.
It's extremely, dude. I mean, Conor McGregor started it off. I mean, we've seen these crazy. These ridiculously amazing fighters come out before.
Right.
We've seen the Khabibs, we've seen the GSPs, we've seen the John Jones, but to see
Nate Diaz.
Right. I mean, we've seen.
Don't forget my boy.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting
Shout out to the
nobody.
Diaz bros.
For real, for real. I'm not trying to have them on here. They'll beat me the fuck up just for not saying it one time. But no, on some real shit. No, Jake Paul, I think he's bringing up a good conversation, and I think it's a healthy conversation. And the reason why I say that is because Dana White is already a billionaire. Okay,
For sure.
So him getting more money as he continues to go, yes, he earned that. That is the business that he created.
100%.
But I mean, philanthropy, man. You got to help your people.
Yeah. Dana White, man, like I respect what he did for the sport. You know, it wouldn't be where it's at, and I don't know if it's necessarily Dana White.
Right.
You know,
of
they
course.
might have people like who really own the UFC, but the UFC,
Like a board of people.
You never know what they're
Yeah.
telling him, so I
100%.
can't really put it on him.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and like, what's he to say? Like, you know, what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
So I feel like fighter pay, man, these guys should be able to like train full time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They should have, like, once you're done with fighting, like fighters, that's all they know is how to fight.
Right.
So when you take that from them, man, a lot of these guys are struggling, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think it really messed it up for the UFC and for the fighters whenever they took away all the sponsors?
Well, I was
100%.
about to
Yeah,
bring that
because that's
up.
what I'm saying. Like I
They were
love
eating off
seeing
that.
I love seeing the customized shorts, and it was like win or lose, they were still getting paid, and it kind of seemed like
Absolutely.
they fought more. It's like they
Yeah.
fought harder, you know.
I really don't understand why they, you know, made it to where, you know, you got to wear it. Now it's Venom, before it was Reebok, and, you know, your first fight, you're going to get 5K.
Right.
That's it.
Well, so
Before that, if you would have made your debut, you're probably making 30, 40K.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I have a hypothetical answer of maybe why that could be, why they decided to go the full Reebok way.
Right.
Because I also remember that literally like GSP days, whenever like fully customized shorts, and
Yeah,
they're
man.
getting
Bro.
they're getting paid.
All them little logos is money, man.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
money, man. And that's extremely helpful, just because it's like you don't know if you're coming out with that
Right.
W. You know, you're
Right.
confident, you're hoping. But no, I had seen that Reebok deal, and so what it came in my head whenever that happened was it makes more sense to pay the fighters a little bit more whether they win or lose. Just a little, bring their cap up a little bit.
Right.
Regardless of what happens, because this Reebok deal came in. But now y'all have to wear Reebok, and this is what you get. Now, yes, your pay did go up a little bit in
Yeah.
scale, but you there's no outside sponsors anymore.
Right.
And so due to that simple fact, you are stuck in a box, which, yes, you are in the biggest fight promotion in the world. So
Right,
don't get
right.
me wrong, you are in a good place.
Right.
But you're limited still.
Man,
You know?
the way I see it, man, all those logos you see on the cage,
Mm-hmm.
that's UFC, man. They can have a lot of sponsorships.
100%.
And they get paid.
Monster, all
Right.
that.
All of that, man. So why not let the fighters do
Choose
the
the
same
same
thing and
thing.
eat too, man? It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I
like-
mean?
I've even seen people talk about going to such a deep level of like literally getting a tattoo on their body for the rest of their life just of a logo so they
Yeah,
can
man.
get paid a good amount of money. Like I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like Sean O'Malley was talking about it in the podcast.
Yeah, for
And he-
sure, man.
And he was dead ass because he's like, so they have basically in the I don't know like the whole the breakdown of it, but from what I know, they're limited to only Reebok,
Right.
and I think like maybe one or two
Blue
other
Venom.
things like the Monster Energies and stuff like that. And
Right.
some of the people like that actually support a very healthy lifestyle in the MMA community, they'll like the fighters, they'll literally take the Monster out. Like I've even seen LeBron do that
Yeah,
with like
for
with some
sure.
stuff. And that's a whole different sport, just because they don't want to be promoting something that's actually harming somebody's
Right.
body. So it's very weird how they're so picky and choosy. But I'm sure that it's the people that pay the most. You know,
Yeah.
like Kevin Hart had brought that up in a video that I had seen where he was saying that it's not that this is the best brand in the world. It's that I'm saying that this is the best brand in the world because that brand is paying me the most.
For sure.
And so it's not technically that they're going with based off like what they feel or integrity. They're really just coming whoever got the biggest
Trying to get paid,
dollars.
man.
Yeah.
Trying to get paid, try to feed families.
100%.
I think, man, if you look at the history of other sports, especially like basketball, you know, in the 90s, not everybody was making $1 million.
Of course not.
They're still making 100,000 or whatever, but
Right.
you know, Michael Jordan was getting paid the most, and everybody else, you know.
Right then.
So
yeah.
everybody came together, made a union, and then they got shit to
A
change.
union. Yeah.
What needs to happen, and I'm gonna start off with, you know, I don't know shit, but
I do that shit.
this is all I'm saying. If you know, they need fighters to put on fights.
Right.
With that being said, fighters have to fight to make money.
Of course.
But if the top guys sit out, you know what I'm saying, maybe fight one time next year,
Right.
you know, make enough money, you know, be smart with it, and sit out, let the other guys get their shine on, the lower level guys get enough bread, and everybody just sit out.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do?
I mean, the technically the only thing that they could say is we'll find somebody else to do that job for you. But also at the same time, why would you take the Usmans out? Why would you take the biggest names in the world out?
If the big names sit, bro.
If they do
not
it,
gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
They
really
just everybody has to be on the same page. There has to be a plan, and man, it just sucks because I feel like those guys can't stand up for themselves because their paycheck is on the line, and that's what I feel like is not the fairest thing right now.
I think that's why you see people like Jorge Masvidal starting his underground thing with bare knuckle, and then you also see Khabib starting his own promotion now, and he's telling all these old fighters, yo, don't get knocked out, just come to my stuff.
I feel like if you're a fighter, you've been there, done that, you know what's fair and what's not fair. Now, are you gonna do that? I don't know, but I feel like if you're a fighter, you feel more of what a fighter should need, and like I said, I think Dana White's done a great job bringing it up.
Absolutely.
But I feel like, there's always room for improvement. And especially with fighter pay, I feel like these guys really, should get what they deserve.
Yeah. And even if it's, and I say just a little bit more, of course, they're getting paid much better than any of us are currently. But
absolutely.
But still, to that same degree, we know what we're getting into in our day-to-day lives. The amount of preparation, training, diet, mental aspect of it, obviously. Yeah. And then you could still come out with an L and only get paid $25K for
Think
the
about
rest.
this, bro. Like, you work your whole life, you dedicate your whole life to the sport, and you get to the UFC, you lose your first fight, you lose your second, and you're cut. You only got paid, I think the starting pay is $10K or $12K if you show up, and you get paid that again if you win.
Yeah.
So you're telling me $20K, worked your whole life, and you get cut.
Right.
You got to work your way back up. And then not only, here's where it gets super interesting, man. You have to pay your coach.
Right.
You don't have to pay your coach. Some coaches don't take anything out, but 15%, usually goes to your coach, 10% to your manager, and then you got to pay taxes. How you supposed to eat off that?
Dude, you are 100% right.
You know what I'm saying? So when people break that down, like, yes, they might say, man, we're paying our fighters,
they're getting 50K.
But
yeah. They're not getting 50K.
They're not getting 50K, bro.
No, they're not. And, dude, I say that almost every single time when somebody's getting paid a massive check. Half of that's going to go to the bank. I mean, half of that's going to go to the bank. Half of that's going to go to taxes. And we can't do anything whenever it comes to the government taking our tax dollars. That's going to happen no matter what.
Right.
Which is kind of the reason why I think fighters are asking for that pay increase. Just maybe even slightly. I don't know what would satisfy them, but also you got to think from Dana White's point of view. You give them an inch, they might take a mile. So, like, what is really enough based on, like, standard? So, like, I guess he does have to constantly weigh that option, and I'm sure that he's asking himself that question more often than not. But more than anything, I'm hoping that that the Jake Pauls of the world are continuing to open this conversation.
Definitely. I mean, everybody has an opinion about it now because Jake Paul's put a spotlight on it, and like I said, people hate Jake Paul, whatever, but like, man, what he's doing is like
improving. Yeah, in a way, just in the sense of the healthy conversation.
Absolutely.
Because regardless of if it takes off Dana White because he keeps getting asked about it or not, it's
Dana Pink.
It's
damn.
But I mean, it's bringing up the good questions, and a good question can hopefully be followed by some good answers, and one day hopefully these fighters are getting exactly what they deserve in every fashion.
Definitely,
can he just fight a real boxer though? I just want Jake to do that. Just have a real boxer, bro.
So I feel like
Tommy Fury, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Dude's 10-0, bro. Like, if they fight, that's a legitimate boxer.
I feel like that should have happened, and for Tommy to be the one to come out of that one, I was very surprised.
Yeah,
it was planned. They wanted Woodley to fight him again. That's why.
Maybe they were just
never know, bro. Crazier shit has happened.
Well, I mean, of course, I'm in a whole different side of the world, but it's weird because I didn't even know that Tyson Fury had a brother until Jake Paul was talking about fighting him. So maybe in the sense of it, Tommy was just trying to do it to like get him some notoriety in the moment, regardless.
Maybe so.
But regardless of what it is, I wish that fight would have happened, man.
Bro, I feel like it's gonna happen. I think Jake Paul is talking about fighting Anderson Silva. So Silva, Fury, I don't know, bro. That's tough fights. You know what I'm saying?
If he fights Anderson Silva,
that's over, bro.
Well, Well, from like you saying Anderson Silva's gonna knock him out?
Yep.
Or
Silva just knocked somebody out, bro. You didn't
he's
see that?
nasty.
He knocked Tito out, but a lot of people knock Tito out, respectfully.
That's respect.
Shout out to Chuck.
Yeah, but dude, that's a lot of that's a lot that goes into it, man. Because Jake Paul, yes, he does have a platform. He does have years of marketing experience, so he has all of that in his belt. But I mean, he's coming into an area where nobody really was talking about money beforehand.
Facts, bro.
Dude, and
He's a smart motherfucker.
He really is, man. Because
He just does it in the most annoying way, bro.
He's a smart motherfucker.
that's the job.
He's smart.
Man. Like, I could not name the amount of videos that I've made that I was like, this is so cringy, but it gets 1 million views, dude.
Facts.
It just sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do so people can pay attention to you, and then you can start acting like a lot more nonchalant, regular person because now they're expecting the bigness out of you.
If I made a video like telling you I knock people out like this,
Right.
it'll go viral.
Oh.
If I make a video on like 5 different setups, how to land a certain technique, it might get 10 views.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, dude, marketing is people want to see that drama. People want to see that something they could talk about.
That
You know what I'm
argument,
saying?
to their homie and like be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Let's
Hey, you
argue
saw
about
Paul
this.
did?
Yeah.
Literally. Like,
yeah,
Let's argue.
yes.
yeah. Well, I mean, some arguments that's the reason why people end up going watch those videos later. I
Yeah.
mean,
For
it's
sure.
just
It's like that guy who teaches you those self-defense stuff. And it's like, obviously, this just not go. I forgot his name, bro.
Man, I seen one the other day, and it was this dude pointing at the clouds, saying he was like separating the clouds. Shout out to McDojo, Instagram page. You gotta check it out. It's
oh my god, that's
Like, where do these people come from, bro?
Bro,
Just like,
probably Kaplan.
Jennings.
Hey,
No, I'm just joking. But
I'm not.
no, he said I'm not. I'm dead ass. No, that's hilarious. But all right. So what's another fight that had your head scratching? Can y'all think of anything off the top?
Bro,
of your head?
honestly, last night watching Devin Haney fight, not scratching in a bad way, but it was just a masterpiece, dude. The dude, 23 years old, became undisputed champion, and just beat the guy with a jab and basics. Like,
Damn.
I love to see it.
wait, who did he fight again?
He fought Kambosos.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Yo,
I don't
in his
know.
hometown. You know what I'm saying?
I know Devin Haney. I just don't know.
Yeah, Kambosos. You ever heard of Teofimo Lopez? Guy who does backflips after he wins.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Teofimo was that guy, and Kambosos beat him, upset him. Kambosos had the belts. Devin Haney just took it from him. So,
Shit.
23 years old. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing knockouts, but I really respect somebody just beating a guy for 12 rounds, taking his weapons away, and just outsmarting a guy. I respect that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sadly, I missed that fight. I watched the other boxing fight though.
Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
Tank, bro,
Man.
Tank.
I pretty much called that. I knew he was gonna finish him, but not just that soon, that
Well,
quick.
Yeah,
like
Rolly
that.
was, dude. When I seen Rolly in the ring, bro, he looked double the size of Tank. And
He
I was
really
like,
Yeah.
did. He looked a lot bigger.
I'm
saying
like,
that too.
fuck. And I knew going in, he cuts a lot of weight, and I was like, I don't know. I know Tank might be able to, hurt him, but I don't know if he's gonna put him out. And like, bro,
His face.
I think
man.
Rolly's still in the locker room, bro.
That man did not know
Bro.
where he was, bro.
I fucking love Tank, bro. Like boxing, maybe 5 years ago wasn't what it is right now. Now it's
Man.
popping, bro. You got guys who can
I
fight.
like
They
watching.
just
boxing
need to
now,
fight
man.
each other, bro. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the only thing wrong with boxing right now. There's a lot of politics involved. You're signed with this guy, so you can't fight this guy. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
but they have a lot of good, young, exciting fighters right now. I
And-
love boxing right now.
And I think I also love boxing right now because I definitely wasn't talking about it nearly as much as I'm talking about it right now. But
Shout out to Jake Paul.
literally, for real.
Fuck Dana White.
But no, actually, Dana, you're actually cool. but no, I think it's so sick that that Gervonta Davis came out, right? I think it was maybe 6th round, something like that.
Yeah, round 6,
Yeah.
man.
And just footwork, man.
I love it, bro.
It was
From the
beautiful.
first second of the fight, I was like, fuck. He's setting him up.
It was
He's
right
setting
on
him
the
up, bro.
ropes,
And
too.
like, he started talking to the crowd, and I looked at my girl. I'm like, dude, he knows, like, this shit's in the bag, bro. He's finding his mom in the crowd and smiling at her.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we had seen that as well, and now they were like, I wonder who he's talking to, like
Yeah.
the dudes on the mic, and I was like, I hope he doesn't taunt him and then like does something wrong, but
Right.
but he might have
Bro.
been in his world in that moment.
the thing about Tank, Mayweather signed him, put him at the biggest level at a young age. He won a world title super early, but you could tell, man, there's things with fighting and there's things that come along with fighting that you pick up just with fighting. And like when Tank pushed him off the stage at weigh-ins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's getting under a guy's skin who's already emotional.
Yeah.
Like, boom, all right, got you.
Never even thought
When he
about
walks
that.
into the ring, man, he, you know how fighters, they'll circle the ring and, you know. So, like, when he gets in front of Rolly, he just stops and then turns and you see Rolly get hyped up. It's just small things like that, bro. Tank got that experience at the highest level in front of a lot of people. And, like, he's fun to watch, man.
It's like he barely had to do anything.
Yeah.
He's already under your skin. He's living in your head rent free. Like,
He's playing chess.
Dude, for real. And man, that's what I think was the key factor in Conor McGregor's career coming up for real.
Oh, for real.
Don't talk about Jose like that.
Well, hey, bro, dude, shout out to Jose. He is, even though he's probably never gonna watch this. Jose for real is wasn't he like the longest reigning champion?
Yeah, so they had the WEC and then the UFC, and like he had it. I mean, he was the only guy at 145 to have a belt.
My dad told me that, and that's why I was like, and my dad's been watching UFC for a long time.
Right.
So whenever he told me that, I was like, Jesus Christ, this dude's been the champ since.
And Conor just fucking
worked him,
man.
If he hadn't,
seconds or
if
less.
Conor wouldn't have played that mental game from the very beginning,
you never know what would have happened, man.
yeah, that man had a poster of him. He ripped it in front of a crowd.
Bro,
took
just
the belt. Like, oh man, just
it's
all
a warfare,
these
man.
antics,
It is warfare, especially whenever you're fighting for food at your table.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Like, this is my plate. I'm gonna do whatever I got to, you know, add more food to this plate.
For real, for me and my family, because I mean, obviously, like you're going in there fighting for yourself. Don't get me wrong. And even at the highest level, you're going in for trying to get the most pay-per-view action that you can, so you can get that check. But like, you're really doing this for the purpose of bringing food to your for your family, man.
You could change your life in like a split second, man.
Yeah, and the worst out and the best.
Facts.
For real.
You end up a meme or you end up a millionaire. I don't know.
Swear to God, it could happen with one punch.
Yeah.
So that's why I think MMA is such a fight, because it's not such a fight. It's such an art.
Game
at
of
the
chess.
end of the day, man.
Man.
You got and still.
A lot of aspects, bro.
It's 90% mental, man. And so it's like
I said,
you got to respect them all,
TJ got dropped, bro. I had Cody. I was like, man, Cody about to do this. He about to beat TJ. And then he just sat on that bench, and TJ humbled himself. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know what? I got to play technical because I know Cody don't play smart. My IQ is better. Mm-hmm. And that man won straight off of IQ.
Yep.
Facts, bro.
Like, straight up, bro. Like,
outsmarted him, man.
Yeah, bro.
Outsmarted him.
Yep. In that fight that Cody was, banging in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like four shots as soon as he's in your area, and he's ready for it at all times. So
that right hand wasn't coming back to the face.
Yep.
It dropped TJ that one time, and then 4 seconds go by, bell rings, second round comes in, and TJ stays on the outside, hits him with that left kick. Man, Cody was never prepared for that.
And man, styles make fights, bro. You never know. Somebody could be reigning on top, and then you get a guy, and then
armbar.
Yeah, you just never know, bro. Fighting, there's so many different variables.
Yeah, and but that's why I think I enjoy watching MMA. So I say more, but I'm really getting into boxing recently. Right. Shout out to Jake Paul.
Yep.
But no, yeah, MMA has just been so beautiful to watch, because you don't know, but you understand what these people are going through on a day-by-day basis. And it's kind of like, so with bodybuilding, I can even not really compare it, but like in the sense of the mental aspect of it, showing up, that's literally half the battle sometimes. And because I'm sure these guys have tons and tons of lactic acid built up in their body, like probably running on nearly no sleep sometimes, just doing the best that they possibly can. And so just getting themselves there and putting the work in, man, it's beautiful to watch it come all together.
Definitely, bro. And it's just something about a fight, man. I don't know, it's beautiful. It's like it's art at the end of the day, man.
Poetry in motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why I like talking about it so much on this podcast, because like yes, we're gonna have like your girl on, and we're gonna talk about their careers and stuff like that. But man, to see how it can change people's life, because really, like obviously much more into Kate's story. Obviously, you're dating her, but just from the small bits that she's told me about, like how it completely like transformed her, man, that gives me like hope in the future because of
bro. She's somebody who, and I'm not gonna get too much into her. I'm gonna let her tell the story, but man, when you talk about motivation, like I get motivation from her story, man. Like to come back, what she came back from,
100%.
And it's crazy because when we first started dating, she had never trained before. She'd watch fights, but like you know, and I was the one fighting. She would come to my fights, and now like we switched to where I'm training her, and it's fucking wild.
That's got to be a little satisfying, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like if you would have told me that when we first met, I'd been like, bro.
You tripping? I'm be champ.
Yeah, sure.
I'm be champ.
Yeah, absolutely. And my girl's fighting. The fuck?
Yeah,
She fighting me? What? Like, yeah.
What kind of world are we getting into?
Dude, funny story. Today actually makes 4 years that we swiped right on each other.
No
Yeah,
way,
right.
dude! Congratulations on that, man.
Yeah.
Funny thing about that, me and my girl, that's how we did it to Tinder.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
I was just looking for somebody to make me sandwiches, bro, and you know, it turned out to that.
Everybody use Tinder. It changes lives. Not lives.
Shout out to our sponsor.
Yeah.
No, funny thing was we were actually, I say we, like my Kyle Blockbuster stuff was because that's a separate entity.
Right.
But my Kyle Blockbuster stuff was sponsored by a dating app one time. It's called Unfiltered. Yeah, no.
It was filtered.
Does it still exist?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it's still there, but they're just working on a lot of. I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to talk shit.
Oh yeah. So another thing, what do you feel is going to be the outcome of Kobe and Dustin if they
Man.
actually finalize that?
Man, I don't feel like that fight's gonna be made, man. I really don't
Okay.
They
see
both
a
agree.
reason to make it. I get why they want to fight each other because, you know, Dustin's in a weird spot where he's beat a lot of these contenders and he just fought for the belt. And same thing with Kobe. Kobe's beat most of these contenders and he lost to the guy who has. So they're kind of in a weird spot and they're both big names to where, like, you can't just take a couple steps down and fight a guy who's, like, on the come up. And
Right.
You're not going to get a big payday. So I get that that's why they want to make the fight. But, man, I feel like they can still, you know, make a run, even though they fought for the title. You know what I'm saying? If Usman loses, Kobe's right there to fight him.
Right.
Yeah.
If Oliveira loses, Dustin's right there to fight the guy who beat him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And I was actually looking on the rankings because obviously Charles Oliveira, even though he beat Justin Gaethje recently, they're still technically tied, one and one.
Facts.
So in the, I think it's lightweight division. I think.
Yeah, 155.
Yeah. Apparently, right now, from the last rankings that I had seen, Charles Oliveira, because he doesn't have the belt, Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier are all ranked first.
Right.
So I don't know really who would end up being the next fight because Charles just beat Justin, but he's still technically ranked first.
Right.
Because
I feel like Charles is gonna fight Islam.
that makes sense.
And
Unless he's scared.
Yeah, I don't blame him. But if Islam wins, you know, that opens up the whole division. Islam hasn't fought a lot of these top guys yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if he fights the right fight, waits it out, he might. You know, you never know.
yeah. And
I feel like it should be either you have Islam fight Charles and, you know, not let Charles be scared.
Yeah.
And then you can just give us the joy of having Dustin versus Justin too.
which I would love to see that again because they're such incredible strikers, man.
Right. I just feel if they make that Dustin versus Nate fight, that'll be like, you know,
Oh,
more
I
of like,
wish, bro.
you
I
know,
wish.
but I don't know. I
We've
don't
been
know what
waiting on
they're
that
doing with
forever, bro.
Yeah, I know.
If they do that, all I'm hoping is that same ref that or the doctor that was there that told Nate that he can't fight because of the big
Oh, my
from the
God.
Jorge Masvidal
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
I just hope he's not there.
Yeah, facts.
For
But,
real.
Take his license.
I think for both of those guys, I could take a way different route. Like Dustin beats Nate, and then maybe Islam wins the title, and then you know what I'm saying?
that would be beautiful.
And then Kobe Covington, you never know, man. Chimaev is a motherfucker.
Right.
He might fucking beat Usman.
For real.
That opens up the division.
Yeah.
Well, they said, but Data said that once Usman's hand is healed, Leon.
Yeah, man.
Supposed to
Leon might fucking
Leon
beat him.
Edwards?
You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I mean, that would be crazy, and that would mess up the entire division if Leon, after there's such a big layoff from beating Nate, comes and he beats Usman.
Another crazy thing we got to think about, though, if Leon does beat Usman, they got to run it back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts that at a standstill. So I don't know.
That would actually, because wouldn't it be the second time that they fought? Yeah.
Are they 1-1?
Leon
if
lost
you-
the first fight.
If you
Yeah.
were to win, it would be 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like they would have to run it back. You know, everybody would definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
Then it's like if you have Kobe and Dustin fight, man, if my boy Dustin pulls out that dub,
Man.
You got-
Huge, bro. He's in the top
yeah,
3 in the
and-
welterweight division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I really hope that he can finalize that fight
Yeah.
with Kobe because
Yeah.
I'd honestly would love to see him fight Nate But man, if you can fight Colby and then you can beat that man,
Right.
bro, you
That's
right.
huge, bro.
Yeah, like, oh man.
Well, because me and Dan were having the conversation of is Dustin in the Hall of Fame status, and I feel like from the caliber of people that he stayed on the top of for such a period of time, personally I would give it to him. But of course I'm a fan. I'm biased.
Right.
Whenever it comes to maybe a little bit more of an unbiased opinion, Dan had kind of brought up the fact that maybe if he does fight Colby and he does get works it out and it is able to get that happen and comes out with that dub,
Right.
Usman he could knock on that door, like I really
Yeah.
don't know. And I don't know.
I feel like it's just, man, Dustin has had so many accomplishments, and he's had that interim accomplishment, but he's never had that unified. And it's like that eats
let
at
me ask y'all
that
this.
sometimes,
Would you put Nate Diaz in the Hall of Fame?
I would.
Would you?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Would y'all put Cowboy Cerrone in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So based
So
on
you gotta-
based on
Yeah.
the record that
Yeah.
he had,
You gotta put Dustin in the Hall of Fame. I feel like
Yeah.
Dustin's beat better guys than both of them.
yeah, that's very, very true.
So who has a harder career though, Cowboy or Nate?
Man,
What you mean by harder?
Like whenever you're talking about Hall of Fame wise of who they faced, because I put Cowboy in the Hall of Fame.
Me
But
too.
maybe because I'm saying that because I'm biased.
Yeah,
but I've
but
also
I mean,
watched
he's-
every fight,
yeah, but
Doesn't he have like the most knockouts? Or
Exactly.
something?
Yeah.
You gotta put him in there.
But it's like,
Yeah.
where does Nate follow? You feel me?
Man, I feel like Nate, he has some great wins,
Mhm.
and just like I don't know, I feel like Hall of Fame, you got to do something.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
almost.
more than fighting,
Right.
Like fighting, but like what you did with it,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And people know Nate, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's because he could kick some ass.
100%.
And he smokes a lot of weed and talks a lot of shit and slaps
Yeah.
people, bro. Like,
That's why we fuck with him.
Yeah.
But it's like a big thing that like made me think about it. I was like, man, the most noticeable win that we know that Nate did was when he gave Conor his first O.
Right.
What would he have been without that though? See what I'm saying?
I feel like he would have been just like an underground, like hardcore MMA guys just really, really love.
Mhm.
But when he did that, people outside of hardcore fans really knew who Nate was.
yeah,
Like,
bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's
they
like
dug
everybody
deep
knew.
into his story and like,
Right, because everybody knew who his brother was.
Right.
Obviously, that man won belts in other promotions, and then was still, never got to touch gold officially in the UFC, even though there were some controversial, decisions.
Right.
But
Yep.
just the fact that you know who Nick is right away, because it's like, man, he dominated multiple promotions, and then he
Bro,
came
Nick-
into the UFC and did what he wanted.
Yeah.
So you always kind of just looking at Nate as like, the little brother that kind of just
Right.
didn't match up.
That Conor
completely.
fight kind of just established him way better.
Yeah.
Just let people know who he is, like people outside of like hardcore fans.
Speaking of Conor, actually, I'm glad that we had brought this up because, yes, he was a double unified champ. You know what I'm saying? He has solidified himself just from that rise to fame for being in the Hall of Fame. But man, the downturn that happened in his career, man, I almost get upset sometimes, and I'm not even a major fan of him anymore. But at the time, man, everybody was a fan of him.
Dude, they
had to
just
believe
had
in the
a
hype.
crazy ass run, bro, that
Yeah.
not too many people do. And he talked shit
The whole way
and he
up.
backed it up. I'm
Every
like, fuck,
time.
dude. This,
Yeah.
And man, MMA is a sport where you can't take time off. It constantly involves. You're gonna have people doing not necessarily new moves, but doing them in a different way. And man, you just can't take time off. They got people that aren't even in the UFC right now chomping at the bit to get in there.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like once they get in there and you taking time off, they're looking at your spot, bro, like a
Yeah.
steak.
I
Yeah.
feel like he just never fully recovered from that Khabib loss. Because, of course he beat Donald Cerrone, but I feel like everybody saw that
Name
coming.
somebody that has
What?
that bounced back after Khabib lost.
Dustin?
Hey, not that bear. Not that bear, bro.
Hall of Fame. There you go.
Hey, facts, bro. And another thing about Dustin's career, if you look at his career, bro, every time he took an L, like he went on this crazy ass win streak.
100%.
So like you gotta respect it.
And speaking of, I guess fighters out of Lafayette, Louisiana, we don't really talk about it so much because we have some biased opinions in the room about it. But DC, man, he's from Lafayette too. I don't
Yeah.
think people. You know what I mean? Well, the thing is, I feel like
Bro, I fucking love DC.
I feel like
I do too, but man.
he's also he's earned the respect of being in the Hall of Fame. I feel like he
Of course.
he has everything that a Hall of Famer should have. But I think more than anything, I really wish he would have gotten the opportunity to fight John Jones one more time.
No.
A third time?
No,
No?
bro.
You don't think so?
You would not want to see that again, bro.
You think John would pick him apart a third time?
Listen,
It would be even
respectfully. DC was getting up in age.
Yeah.
Jones is in his prime.
Heard that.
The first fight, it was close, but not,
That was his best chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, the first fight, you letting Jones figure you out for a third time.
Yeah.
The second fight was, put it on him, man.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Izzy fighting. Who was that? He had fought
Marvin
Vittori. The second fight.
Man.
I didn't even think that the second fight should have happened based on what I had
just
seen.
cleaned out the division, man. There's nobody else for him to fight. Like they literally brought in a kickboxer that beat Izzy with like 6 fights in MMA, just signed him, and now he's trying to get him up there to make the fight. Izzy is just that's one of my favorite guys to watch right now.
Oh man, same.
So how do you feel if him and Alex get back into it though? You feel like he would prevail over that one loss, that knockout loss?
I feel like you're gonna see Izzy do a lot more MMA than kickbox.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think there's a part of that Izzy wants to prove a point, like those 2 losses, I'm gonna get you back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a real martial artist, man. He's gonna figure out different ways to beat him rather than just knocking him out.
Yeah.
And he's gonna show that he's been doing MMA a lot longer than Alex.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, Alex is a dangerous fucking striker, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So you never know with them small gloves. You know what I'm saying?
Them small gloves, something serious, bro.
He did improve a lot with his ground game though, because whenever he was fighting John Bohovitz, man, he was like. He just did not look like he belonged in that weight class, bro.
It showed that why they have weight classes.
Yeah, like he's just just the fact that he just couldn't do anything on the ground.
Yeah, man.
I feel like that stuck with him.
I mean, if y'all both are good and this guy weighs 20 more pounds, like fuck, guy way bigger is probably gonna win. You know what I'm saying?
So next question that I want to ask both of y'all, because this one kind of just came to my head. But what was your favorite fight that you watched, regardless of how the magnitude of the fight, all that stuff? What was your favorite fight to watch? Before y'all answer, I want to tell y'all mine. Izzy versus
Gastelum?
No, Adesanya. No. Izzy versus the Spider.
Anderson Silva.
Oh,
that was a dope. That was like a passing on the torch.
Yeah, that definitely
that
was.
fight,
That was
yeah.
That's like a guy fighting his like fucking superhero. You know what I'm saying?
For real, man.
And then getting his powers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, but think about it. What would y'all say is your best fight that has happened of all time?
I got mine, bro. 100%. Stephen Bonner versus Forrest Griffin.
Oh, dude, that banger.
Yeah, like that was the first fight like I ever seen live on TV. But dude, that was like holy shit, like
for real.
These guys are trying to kill each other. They're bloodied up. Like this is some shit you see in a hockey fight, but it's lasting more than 10 seconds.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Fucking love this.
I remember their faces from that, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, and like the magnitude of that fight, like that brought the UFC.
It transcended the sport, and that's what. Before you answer your question,
you
question, the same thing that Jake Paul is constantly doing. He's transcending the sport. He's getting it out to an audience that people are not paying attention to. Originally, not paying attention to. That's what Conor McGregor did. He brought it out there, and so whenever you have those supermassive fights, especially Forrest Griffin at the time, because my dad was telling me stories about Forrest Griffin, how he got into a fight with a dude in MMA, he broke his arm and still won the fight. And there's video proof of that on YouTube. I looked it up. It's pretty fucking gross, but So favorite fight of all time.
Oh man, it's a tie between Robbie versus McDonald.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's my top 5. Yeah.
And Max Holloway versus my boy Dustin, man.
That was
a killer fight, bro.
I remember me and Jacoby were watching that live, and we were looking at each other like,
I was scared the whole time.
I was like, I don't know who's gonna win,
Max
bro.
is so fucking good, and Dustin's just right in front of him. Like I'm like, bro,
Bombs,
this could change in any second.
Yeah,
for real,
and it's the fact that we never saw Max get pieced like that.
Yeah,
it was shocking. And then out of his whole entire career, Max has never been dropped.
Right.
Except he almost got dropped by Dustin, but that fence saved him, bro.
Yeah, it did,
saved him, bro. He was falling backwards, and he hit that fence and bounced right back up. I was like, oh, wait. That counts?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, there's a tie between those two, especially whenever Rory and McDonald were just staring each other down.
Yeah, if you got to introduce people to MMA, those are 2 great fights to do.
Oh, yeah,
100%. Yeah.
I feel like another one is Whaley versus Joanna. I don't know if you ever watched that fight.
I literally just
That's when Joanna's head swole up.
Oh, shit.
They're actually about to run it back, I think, next month. But
Yep. Yeah. It's either in a month or in a week, because I know there's one.
it might be next week.
I think because I think doesn't
Yeah,
Jiri,
they are fighting on that Glover Teixeira card.
Yeah, Jiri fights Glover, so yeah, they
Shout
are
out to
gonna
Glover,
fight again.
man. 43 or 42.
Can't even
Won the
believe he
fucking
did that.
title.
That's
And
crazy.
is not about to defend it.
I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen, man.
Yuri is a really, really unorthodox fighter.
Yeah,
I mean, he punches trees for training.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a little unorthodox.
Yeah,
and like the fact that he just did that to Dominic Ray is,
bro, his power. Some people
Yeah.
you could just tell if their glove touches you, you're gonna go out, and that's him for sure.
and it's like the fact is that he's so random.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does a little bit. He gives me that John Jones reflection because you don't know what he's gonna throw at you.
Yeah, he got that and
Yeah.
Diego Sanchez personality.
Yeah,
Like for sure, for sure.
bruh.
So the only other really really satisfying fight that I remember watching, like I said, the Adesanya versus the Izzy fight, that one. Other than that one, I would say for the women's class, I would say the Holly Holm versus who was that girl that was getting all the arm bars?
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. And then she went to the WWE.
Oh my god, bro.
That was an amazing fight to watch, especially
Yeah.
when Holly Holm hit her with that kick, bro. Nobody expected that out of
Bro,
nowhere.
Holly Holm was hitting her with some crossovers, man. I remember she made her do a knee, making her miss.
That duck,
I'm like,
that duck under.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
dog.
Oh,
hit a knee.
bro.
Oh, I remember that.
bro.
Whenever she missed and Ronda hit that knee and turned around, Joe
Yo.
Rogan was like, "Wow, wow!" Right
That's
there,
like-
there, it's like you
yeah.
knew she was losing. She was gonna lose.
That's like a motherfucker dunking on you. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Like, come on, dog.
That is the perfect way to compare it.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, bro.
honestly though, but one of my top up there favorite fights was whenever my girl Misha got to touch gold after
Yes.
she was losing that entire fight, bro. It was
Yeah.
literally a kick. It was like boxer / kickboxer versus wrestler.
Right.
And man, Misha was losing that whole fight, bro. I probably gave her like one round going into the 5th, and she knew I gotta take this girl down. And once I get her there,
That was a wrap.
it's gonna be over.
That was a wrap.
And she
bro.
got that neck, bro. And then Holly tried to flip her, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I give Holly respect because she was fighting until the lights went out.
Definitely.
And that's scary, bro. Like you fought till
period.
the lights went out. Like
Yeah.
damn, bro. Like
When I like Warrior.
That's hard.
yeah, bro.
My fight that was actually kind of not really like that, but the one that satisfied me again was Rose. Whenever she had won the belt and
Man, she beat the boogeyman. Yep.
Yeah.
and
No, I sure as hell didn't expect that to happen.
yeah. Well, I watched the replay of that video so many different times
Right.
because it was her eyes. So she was looking low
And went
came
high.
Man, I mean it's technical. You would think that
Yep,
you know,
yep.
people paying attention to it to a degree, but
Oh, you talking about when she got the
man.
belt the second time or the first time?
Whatever. I forgot what
fought
she
Zhang?
said. What I just remember her coach was in that fight. Her coach was saying, "You're the best, and she was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"I'm
yeah.
the
When
best."
she
Yeah,
fought Zhang,
dude,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
badass. Yeah.
Dude, I had
Yeah.
a chill that went through my body
Yeah.
in that moment, man.
And you could tell Rose went through some shit, man. Like for her to
Shake her
overcome it,
head.
and
Yeah.
like, you know, that's badass.
I believe that Rose was just top notch whenever she beat Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was the boogeyman of the division. Everybody was scared of Joanna. It was like she put fear into you before you even got into the cage,
mental
bro.
warfare, man.
Yeah, and it's like, man, Rose just came out, gave that girl her first TKO, bro.
Yeah,
like, what
bro.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last fight that I have, not last fight, last question that I have for y'all. So question is, what fight would y'all want to see happen? Like really like top best fights if you could pick
Boxing or MMA?
Let's do MMA right now.
Okay.
But let's do best if you could see the dead or alive, this person versus that person. Who would you choose?
man, I really, really need to see my boy Nate and Connor run it for a third time. I
That's
need
the
to
top
see
of your
that, bro. I
mind.
feel like
Yeah, that gotta
everybody-
happen before,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because like they're both around the same age. They're both towards pretty much the lows of their careers.
Right.
And they're both 1-1.
To go out killing it like that, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
feel like you have to settle that, bro. Like if Dustin does not want to fight Nate, call Connor out, bro. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
beefed up already. He can make that easy cut to
Oh,
welter.
man, he
like
can
just
do
do it, bro. Like
Yeah. And what would you say? Best of all time. What would you say? Best two fighters to fight.
I got two fights because it's like really to decide who's the GOAT.
That's a lot, yeah.
Whenever they're both in their prime, I feel like this fight needed to happen, but it didn't. GSP and Anderson Silva.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
GSP.
Like
for
that
some reason.
needed to happen,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like they were both just cleaning everybody out,
It
and
was I feel like that would have been the most.
that
beautiful
would have
fight.
been like a fucking chess match out of this world.
Oh man.
And then another one, Khabib versus GSP.
Yeah.
You know, when they're both in their prime.
Oh man, yeah, of course.
Like, who's gonna take
I give
who
that
down?
I give that to GSP all day, bro.
Yeah.
Me personally, I give
Yeah.
that to GSP all day. You talking about GSP in his prime? You talking about before or after his losses? His first two losses.
Let's say peak versus peak.
Yeah, I would say after his losses, 'cause that's when he really leveled up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't see GSP losing, bro. Like
I know, but like then you see Khabib taking down like Luke Rockhold in practice, who's a middleweight.
man.
Yeah.
And holding him.
Yeah,
down.
you see him wrestle with DC. I'm like, man, like the stories you hear about this guy in the training room, I want to see if that's like real shit versus GSP.
Oh
Yeah.
man, 100%. My only other one that I would have off the top of my head would be John Jones versus Izzy. That would be the most incredible fight that I feel like the way that they would pick each other apart would be the kind of the same with the Izzy and Izzy and Anderson fight.
Right.
But no, I think my favorite I can't say this is my favorite. I would say this is like one of those fights that I was like, man, I wish it didn't go down like that, but it was so crazy to see it happen. Remember when when Anderson fought Forrest Griffin and knocked him out, and he like came,
oh,
dude, that was a moment in my life, but I was like you remember how you felt with not Max Holloway, with was that
Tony Ferguson?
Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
That's a name that we haven't mentioned yet in here.
Yeah.
Fergie Ferg.
Yeah.
Did not like seeing that at all.
Sure, he didn't either.
Yeah, the next day on tape.
Like that and Frankie Edgar, man. Just
Bro, Frankie was such a dog, and then that new crop comes out.
Yeah, bro. It's like, man, just hang it up, bro. It's all right. You have the legacy. You're already
really
Hall of Fame.
Hall
bro.
of Fame for sure.
Like, man, but just to see him take the knee from Sandhagen first, and it was like, bro, oh my god. And then to take the foot from Cheetah, it's like, from Cheeto, my bad. Man, it's like,
now he ate his Cheetos.
it's like, I just hope that Nick Diaz doesn't come back unless he's 100% ready, like whenever he fought Robbie the second time. Because, like, he did not look like
bro,
he was 100%.
Didn't look in shape at all.
But apparently he had an undisclosed injury, which is why they couldn't meet at that weight, and they bumped it up a little bit for him.
Gotcha.
And it was like 2 weeks before. And, you know, Nick, he's like, fuck it, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
He's not going to back out, you know. He's going to still go through. But it's like, man, if you're going to come back, bro, please look at
Do it the
Tony.
right way. Right.
Yeah, look at Tony and look at Frankie, bro, and just understand, okay, I'm going to need to be top-notch again. I'm be the old Nick if I got to do this again. Like,
honestly, bro, a fun fight to watch would be Tony at 170 versus Nick Diaz.
Man, that would be so crazy.
What's going to happen?
That would. I don't see. Damn, I definitely see that. It has to go 10 rounds.
Yeah, to the death.
Well, if it goes to the ground, I mean, Nate, I feel like would have it maybe. Well, isn't Nate's ground game a lot better than
it
most?
is, but you don't have the wrestling that Ferg got.
Wrestling. Yeah.
But Tony,
I would like to see Nick though, his older brother, fight.
Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, at 170. That would be interesting.
That would
That
be
would
interesting,
fun to
bro.
watch, man.
I feel like he would definitely have to take Nick down because I feel like Nick is just too tough in the stand up.
Yeah,
too tough. He charges forward. He doesn't care.
And they both have that style where like I would say they can't get knocked out, but his last fight got knocked out. But like they both have like I don't know, a rough style about them.
Right.
So it's gonna they're both gonna bleed. They're both gonna stay in the pocket. They're both gonna talk shit.
Yep.
They're both gonna just be in the phone booth. Just that pressure, man.
Yeah,
you just
bro.
see two fighters, just that pressure that's constant.
Man.
No one's back. No one's fading.
Right.
Damn, it's like Dustin versus Justin. Like,
Right.
no one was fading, bro.
Was it Leon Edwards? It was right at the end with Nate Diaz where he pointed at him or whatever.
Yep.
I had brought that up. I think maybe on like one of the first episodes that didn't get actually like recovered from recording. But anyways, that was a topic of discussion that I had brought up, and I had said that maybe if Nate was a little bit more worried about like getting the W rather than just taunting the person and making them feel the way they feel, kind of like Colby does during the fight and stuff sometimes. But if it wasn't for that, I feel like he could have finished Leon Edwards in that one.
The crazy thing about the Diaz bros, like once they rock you, they're like, I won the fight.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. That's true, bro.
And if they slap them, they're like, all right, you might win on the scorecards, but I slapped you, I win. So like, I feel like that's what was going through his mind.
If
you
you
know
ain't
what I'm
finished me, I won. All right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And he hit him straight down the pipe, bro. Kind of like he almost hit him with the same thing that Usman hit Jorge with.
Yeah, man.
Straight down the pipe, bro. Like, dude, hit the sweat off that man's head, bro. That was crazy.
I was off my feet when that happened.
Oh yeah, I seen it happening though, because you know how whenever you see a fighter get caught with something twice,
Mhm.
if you're like, bro, if you take this again,
Yeah, it's done.
he ate that straight like 4 times like before he was finally out,
Mm.
and every time he's like stop smiling, nigga, put your hands like come on, bro, like we
nah, for
understand
sure.
you got some emotion in there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dog, he's gonna knock your ass out, and sure enough, like oh my gosh,
I gotta ask y'all this, man. Have y'all ever watched Street Beefs?
Oh my God!
yeah.
Yes, I watched.
Bro, that is like where the real fights are, bro. Like,
you see
dude.
people, pull up. They pull up with like. There was one dude with like a dress shirt on that was fighting in like.
Yeah, they
cross-
bare knuckle. They not
Yeah.
bare, they wrapped their hands and fought
Yeah.
each other. And dude was wearing a suit and whooped his ass. I thought that was like badass. Like that's like some video game type shit.
For real, for real.
dude.
What were you saying about Street Beefs?
I
though?
gotta get somebody on Street Beefs from the gym, bro.
Oh man,
I got to make that trip. I'm in the Facebook group, bro, so it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing.
group.
But you keep up with that bare knuckle boxing?
That's not my favorite thing to watch, but I do like if there's some like fighter that got cut from the UFC that I like to watch, I'll watch it on bare.
Yeah, that's realistically why me and Jacoby watch it. We watch
Yeah.
fighters that
like,
have been from the UFC.
Y'all could all be on
Like-
steroids and fucking fight each other without gloves.
Because they had what's his name? I forgot his name. Lane. Let me bang,
Julian
bro.
Lane, oh
Let
my
me bang,
god,
bro.
yes.
Oh, let me bet.
He
He's always
fought
been on
fucking
there.
Mike Perry, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Like yes, Mike
That's
Perry.
what I'm saying. Like Mike Perry got cut from the UFC too. I was kind of sad about that because he entertained me.
Yeah, let my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Let my boy bang.
For
Yeah,
real, for real.
Mike Perry.
Especially in
I
the-
feel like you should give it a try. Like bare knuckle boxing is pretty good, bro. It's pretty entertaining. I can't lie. bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I watch fights sometimes just to like see the guy just get his shit off, get hit, not get hit, and it's like the bare knuckle is like
That's just
like
exciting.
chaos.
It is. It's nothing but chaos, man. But
But
I
yeah.
respect him for it. 'Cause, like,
Yeah,
Absolutely. You
absolutely.
getting in it.
The only thing I'm saying with the bare knuckle is like you'll see one guy really not want to be in there, and the other guy just like
I'm ready for
yeah,
this.
just to the
Yeah.
gills and fucking kill him.
Yeah. It's usually to do with a little bit more experience, I think.
Dude, a guy actually fucking died from that.
really?
Yeah, he didn't die like right on the spot.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, probably head injury or
yeah,
like,
he
a lot of
fell
things.
right on his fucking head.
Dude, I mean, it sometimes, and I mean, the crazy thing is that could happen in the UFC one day. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that we hope that it does. Don't get me wrong.
I feel
hope
like
all of them
somebody's gonna
succeed,
die
but-
from weight cutting first.
Yeah.
That makes
Oh,
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Man, that's actually a whole topic of discussion that I actually want to get on, hopefully in another interview
Yeah, definitely.
with you, because we are right at about an hour 30. It's gonna take me a long time to edit this stuff, so
All
I
good,
do
all
want to
good.
call it, but because we could talk MMA all day,
Yeah.
I will definitely have you on another one. But before we go, tell people where they can find you, man.
Man, find me on Instagram, @FlashMMA_. Find me on Facebook, Zack Mathiew. YouTube channel, Flash MMA. And if you're looking to get in some training, man, you don't even have to fight. If you want to just make a lifestyle change, hit me up, man. We got you.
100% here to improve your life.
Yep.
Man, I just want to say, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I will see you on Monday.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I actually have to go this time because you came on here. So,
good.
but anyways, regardless, man, I really do appreciate it. You're doing a lot for the community. You're doing a lot for the sport of MMA, a lot more than you even realize. And I commend you, and I really appreciate you doing what you're doing. Man, Dan, tell everybody bye, bro.
All right, y'all. Remember, y'all can find me on Psych. You got to find me yourself.
But,
go look up my boy Zack.
Yeah.
And if you want to fight him, he'll fight you and he'll teach you a lesson.
Heard that. Just there better be some paperwork there. But
sign
either
a
way,
waiver.
yeah, heard that. Either way, guys, thank you so much for being on. Make sure that y'all follow us if you have not already. Hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate every single person that subscribes. We are going to be coming with a Patreon in the future, but that's all stuff that we're going to worry about in the future. Either way, I do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. This was an amazing podcast with Zack, Mathiew, Flash, and we will see y'all in the next one. Peace.